Dr. Austin Ezekiel, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Works for Rivers State. As it concerns the Ministry of Works, the Executive Council approved the cancellation of the contract of the renovation, retrofitting, and furnishing of the Rivers State Secretariat complex, and also directed the refund of 20 billion naira paid as mobilization to the contractors. Secondly, after due deliberations, the Executive Council approved the revalidation of the bidding process for all the 4 contracts earlier advertised in the national dailies of 19 February 2025. And these are: 1, the construction of 4.8 kilometer reinforced concrete shoreline protection and reclamation of Queenstown and Pelema, Iloma, minimal communities in Opobo and Koro local government area of Rivers State. 2, construction of 2.5 kilometer shoreline protection and reclamation in Ndoni, Oniku, Isiku, Ase Azagi communities in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area, which was put together as lot B1 on the 3, construction of 2.5 kilometer shoreline protection and reclamation in Utuechi, Obiofu, East Sala, Anieze, Odugri communities in Ogba, Egbema, Ndoni local government area, which is said to be the lot B2. And thirdly, and number 4, the renovation, retrofitting, furnishing of the River State Secretariat complex, as it affects the Ministry of Works. That was the approval granted or given by the River State Executive Council. The contract was awarded at a cost of 134 billion. 134 billion, out of which 20 billion was paid as mobilization fee. The company is China Civil Engineering Construction Corporation, CCECC.
Recently, we've experienced some flash floods across Port Harcourt and its environment. ESCO deliberated extensively on it, and Council directed for immediate intervention by the flood committee. You know, before this, the emergence of this administration, there was a process that was formed, which has been handed over to the deputy governor. So, Council has directed that immediate work must start. But we also frown at the blockage of drainages. This problem is, though we are a peculiar state, but some of these things are man-made, are caused by ourselves, the way we dispatch and throw things into our drainages. So Council asked that Rivers people should desist. They should assist government by stopping the process of throwing drains and blocking waterways. That's part of our problem. The Council has directed immediate action should be taken to alleviate that problem. In the coming days, it will be well addressed. And the governor, of course, is so passionate about the development of Rivers State. He's very, very keen. He spoke so well, so much about development, and that to all members of ESCO, those that are here now, and ministries, that work begins in earnest. And that is not going to condone any acts of laziness around. We must work very, very, very hard. We must work as if there is no time for us to work. So I'm sure and we're convinced that with the new zeal that he has brought in, strengthening how far he's gone, we've lost some time, but we are convinced that Rivers State will come back into the role, into the map of development.
Good afternoon. I am Dr. Mrs. Azibolanari Uzoma, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Education. In the Executive Council today, the first after the emergency rule, several issues were discussed. Amongst these important issues was the aspect of CBT in secondary schools when it comes to examinations. The Executive Council, through His Excellency Executive Governor of Rivers State, approved the proposal for the establishment of CBT centers and ICT labs across the senatorial districts and indeed the 23 local government areas in the state, to show his earnest desire for the youth of this state to receive quality education. We are to key in to current trends, and His Excellency proactively set up a committee on the establishment of CBT centers across the three senatorial districts of Rivers State to ensure that we kickstart the process, harnessing our knowledge on how we'll go about the process. The committee consisted of 6 members, chaired by the Deputy Governor of Rivers State. The Permanent Secretary Works is a member. The Permanent Secretary Information and Communication is a member. The Secretary to the State Government is also a member. And then the Permanent Secretary Energy and Employment Generation, Youth and Employment Generation is also a member. All of us are going to have our hands on deck to ensure that we raise up the very action points for the establishment of CBT centers across the state. Of course, we know that before now, pen and paper tests have been the norm. But Rivers State also wants to key in to be among the first. In fact, when we say Rivers first, we want to be first among the states to show the federal government to comply with the federal government directives that beginning from 2026, all exams conducted by West African Examination Council and National Examination Council are comply with the technology of CBT. So CBT has come to stay. We're a long way away, but with our determination, we'll get to our goal. And Rivers State will be the better. Rivers State education, educational development for our children will be the better for it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, members of the press. I'd like to say that we are happy to be back on stage. Today, the ESCO, after the sabbatical we had over 6 months, were able to reconvene under His Excellency Sasimala Efubara, the governor that we elected, the governor that is relished by all in Rivers State. Prominent among what was discussed today in ESCO was the governor himself unraveling one of the major precarious situations we have in the state. One of those is unemployment, which you know. And recall that I was in the Ministry of Youth Development, and we've been, over time, campaigning, creating awareness, awakening the consciousness of Rivers youth and young people in Rivers State. And now His Excellency had to direct me to the Ministry of Employment and Economic Empowerment to be more focused, to be more direction that Rivers youth need to be employed. We need to interface with companies, IOCs. His Excellency directed that we should do everything to do a proposal which will be coming up in the coming days. This proposal will be directioned. This proposal will be focused. This proposal, His Excellency will look at it and approve. It will become a framework of action. Rivers youth have been over time spurred by conscience and courage, and now is the practicability of what we have been expecting over time. His Excellency was very emphatic about employment and empowerment. So in the coming days, we want to assure Rivers State youths and young people that there will be a rising tide of employment and still waters of economic empowerment. And we know our governor is one man that when he says a thing, he will leave no stone unturned to making sure that all those things are achieved. So today, we're here for Rivers youth and Rivers young people in Rivers State who are going to interface. I also want to use this opportunity to implore all those who are doing business in Rivers State, companies and all of that. We are not going to be confrontational. We're going to go through dialogue. We're going to involve everybody, all stakeholders, to be, in this thing together, to making sure that we take most of our youth out of the streets. Because if we don't mitigate this, it will metamorphose to what we call conundrum or a problem. That if you don't have enabling environment, you cannot do your business. So we want to use the opportunity to implore you that whilst we come to interface with you, give us that enabling environment, open your doors, and be sincere about it, because His Excellency is a very sincere governor, and that is why we relish him. Thank you so much.